Hi everyone, I'm Hwahyun and thank you for the introduction. Tonight I want to introduce about the issue nutrition map in our DNA. I think everyone knows about the close relationship between food and health. But what if what we eat now actually affects the health of your descendants over generations? And I want to bring 3 cases tonight. The first case is Shanxi, the east side of the China. In this region, every year 30 to 40% of child is born to deformed. And when central government was found out the reason was because the lack of substitution of folic acid, one of the vitamin B, and mainly contained in green vegetables. Because Shanxi is located in the highlands of China, they cannot really find the green vegetables every year. So when pregnant women couldn't take enough green vegetables, the child was not able to produce their DNA and could not able to divide their cells properly, and it led to the high percentage of the deformed child. And the second case I want to present tonight is Pima Indian in Arizona, the United States. The Pima Indian was used to live in desert, and their main diet was potato and pumpkins. But when federal government of the United States decided to provide, when the federal government of the United States decided to provide them highly processed foods like flour, butter, cheese, their diabetes rate hit the top. So almost 63% of the male and 70% of female of Pima Indian are currently suffered from the diabetes. And the more strikingly, the children about 10 years old of Pima Indian is also suffering from diabetes and obesity. The reason is because they were used to live up with the low calories and just the vegetable foods like potato and pumpkins. And when they suddenly got the highly processed and high calories food, suddenly their DNA system was destroyed. So when they took too much energies and their body system was not know properly, how can I deal with these energies? And they got lots of obesity problems and diabetes problems. The slides are slightly different, but I will move to the third cases. The third cases, I think most of you know much better than me. I want to present the case of hunger winter, the Dutch famine in 1944 and 1945. During that time, about 1,000 people died, and each person only can take about 400 to 800 kilocalories per day. And I think most of you know that each person is supposed to take about 2,500 calories per day. So when they took 2 less calories, strikingly, the many pregnant women got the problems. And when Amsterdam University Hospital found researched about these issues, they found out that the human cells like a matryoshka, the Russian doll. So human cells is like a matryoshka. So those nutrition information was reserved in your child and your grandchildren's nutrition as well. So when they looked up the one families, the second generation got a breast cancer, and third generation got diabetes, and fourth generation even got a serious allergy problems. So we can see how what you eat now actually can affect the nutrition and health problems over generations. And then, do we have to live up with this fate over your nutrition? I don't think so. I found some cases we can find the hope from them. The first case is when the Shanxi government decided to provide the flour with folic acid, vitamin B, and they could decrease the deformed child birth rate by 85%. It's very striking. And the second case, I think some of you already heard of it. There are some miracles. Although you got a cancer, but you didn't get any medical treatment, but they survived. I have one case from my family. My mother, who got a cancer in her 30s, she refused to get a surgery. She refused to get any medication. But she changed her food, take less meat, and she cut all the artificial seasonings and take more vegetables from our gardens without any pesticides. And now she survived, and she cannot find any cancer cells. Hooray. And the last case is the small island in South Pacific. Because their geological location was so isolated, they couldn't get any influence from the Western society, and they couldn't manage the ancient style of the diet. And in that world, there is no rule that although they get old, they do not get sick. People think if you get old, you have to get sick. But in that island, there is no rule like that. And these cases actually strongly influenced my life and my family's life. And before, in the past, where the South Korea has the lowest obesity rate in the world, about 2%. But I'm sure the South Korean woman is most unhappy people in the world about their figure. And I did. And I was on diet 365 days a year. So I was concerned about how to make my body slimmer and slimmer. But I changed my attitude to the food. Take more organic foods and make the balance on my diets. And my family, after retired, my father, he is now organizing some organic shops. And my parents are now planning to do some kind of eco-friendly community. So they want to manage those kind of lives. So tonight I have one very strong message for you. Please do not let your health to highly processed and bad foods. I think this time you can take the lead back. And what you eat now actually can change the future of your life and your family's life. Thank you.